Good night, Olgata. Thanks for joining Lawrence and myself here on Sports Scene. Once again, look, Lawrence, I'm just going to jump straight into it. Yep. NRL Grand Final on Sunday. It was Papua New Guinea versus Panthers.
Yeah, it sounded like it. I mean, everyone was
like
just...
It looked like it.
Yeah. Everywhere you went, I mean, as soon as he scored the first try, whether you said it was a try or not, J.O. scoring. I mean, everything erupted. I got to say, though, and I really shouldn't, but the very next night it was blackout. Do you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you? But anyway, I'll just leave it right there.
All right, so just run through the scoreline, the result from the grand final.
I mean, everyone knows who won, but you know, for the sake of doing the scoreline, which we always do every week, of course, everyone knows the result from the weekend is the Melbourne Storms beating Penrith Panthers 26 points to 20. Penrith, 17 games in a row, but the one that mattered, unfortunately, weren't able to get it done. But 3 seconds to go, they still had a chance to win the game. But a really good game, 26-20. And I thought Cameron Smith was going to say retire, but he never did. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see how they go.
I'll just refer to the Storms as all I'm in the team from now on.
Yeah, I think so.
So in the show, we've also got volleyball showdown between Gereka and Kaupa, which happened over the weekend. We have Volleyball Federation President Kila, who will be joining us here in studio later on. And we feature Rugby Union in the vault. All right, so the inaugural season for the Datako-sponsored Manu Bada Volleyball Association has ended with 2 clubs facing off for the ultimate prize. Now, in a competition of 3 divisions and only 6 clubs taking part in 2020, Gig from Gereka and Kapua from Kira were the standouts, filing 1 team each in the Premier, under 21 men's and women's divisions, respectively. Here are the results from the grand final.
The battle for supremacy as the competition's top teams faced off on the courts at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex. 2 clubs proved they are the best, putting teams through in the 3-division fixture. First up was the women's final. GIG from Gereka in red coming in as hot favourites after finishing off as the minor premiers. The women from Kira Village, Kapua, in maroon, weren't going to leave this one go easy, volleying 1 set home. But it was Gereka who came out strong, ending the match 3 sets to 1.
4 weeks of using the stadium here, and we really thank God for it. At the same time, also during the finals week, we also had our new uniforms, which is sponsored by Sangha Solutions.
The next match again between the 2 rivals was in the under-21 men's division. Kapua were the better team heading into the match, undefeated during the season proper, as well at the national level. Kira, through its local association, were the defending champions. They took the match by a convincing 3-0 victory. For the Premier Men's, though, it was not so convincing. Kapua led 2 sets to 0, heading to a 3rd straight and possibly the game, but GIG, the minor premiers, showed why they were still number 1 whole season, putting up a fight that saw the game go right down to the wire at 2 sets apiece. Kapua, reinvigorated after the break, came back with a simple plan to play basic volleyball, which saw them victorious 3-2 in the best of 5.
No, association level, where roots blow, talent them come out. So all boys all now all play all hamma straight. So preparation me play on national level. Me play still recruit staff, me play got me play boys to me play talent come. But this year season me play hamma so me play winning, so bigger better next year.
Me got this spirit fight back. So strong all boys blow me. Strong all fight back, come back again play rally set. Take a rally set. Then we come out, lose or win, we're happy. Game alright, forget something alright. We just lost. Happy more upcoming ones blow me low. Kiss him up, blow me low play. Maybe otherwise next year about maybe I sit down the side and coach him all upcoming. We just like look him all low. Just look him how me play, yeah.
More clubs coming in, I understand this year was we had 6.
Yes, this year we had 6. Actually, yes, to us, yeah, already clubs have shown interest to come in. But that will have an executive decision on that and then push it forward to the board. We see which one is viable. Maybe we open, but if we have to increase, it will be not a big increase, because the other thing that we want to maintain is we want to maintain high quality, and also we got a programs and a budget in place for semi-professionalizing the sports. So what I want is I want to reward loyalty to those who started off with us when we were nothing.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. We are nearing season end here on Sports Scene. So we give this time to talk to federations, sporting bodies in the country to review their yearly calendar. Now in the studio with me is the president of the PNG Volleyball Federation, Mr. Kila Dick. Good evening, and thank you very much, Mr. Dick, for joining us here on the show.
Good evening, Lawrence, and it's an opportunity for us to be on board.
Well, let's get straight into the questions. Amidst the pandemic, how has that been for the code of volleyball, the challenges you were able to face?
Well, some sports associations didn't take part in the competitions. A couple were Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball as well as NCDC, but there were others who took the challenge, and we organized the approvals for them to have their competitions running sometimes in July up to this month.
Yeah, volleyball was probably one of the first sports to get the approval. Must commend you and the people working around to ensure that you got those processes in place. The challenges of not playing in the indoor stadium and of course at TAC here in Port Moresby, and how was that in terms of just switching that into a positive? What did the sport do?
We had to move from the indoors to play outdoors with some of the associations, so it gave that opportunity for the youths to continue their competitions. I guess, even to go through the pandemic, a lot of players were not able to take part, and they were questions raised whether they were going to have that competition running. So in doing so, we got the approvals and we allowed all the associations right through the country to take part in various local competitions.
Yeah, well, I guess for volleyball, you're not sort of tackling someone.
Not at all. So we were able to organize those protocols to allow the competitions running.
Yeah. Now, well done to that. Now, skipping forward, next week, very busy week. For PNG Volleyball, what's happening?
Yes, we've got the Under-21s and the Open National Championships. That will commence on the 5th. That will be on Thursday. For the Under-21s, it's 3 days of competitions for the two champs. So we are hoping that we'll secure almost 16 associations, and calculations from the number of divisions, that's 2 per men and women, both Under-21 Open, so we're looking at about 52 teams altogether. So it's huge and it's big.
Yeah, and of course the COVID protocols will be practiced there, and to ensure that temperatures and all that will be checked, and hand sanitation basins, all that will be put forward.
Absolutely. We're talking to the venue management of Tarama Aquatic Center to coordinate that arrangement, so that any one person as well as players come through, they got to follow the protocols.
All right. I'm sure you had massive plans for 2020. You've just told me off camera that this is your last year as the president. Will there be an AGM after today, and after the championships next week, and so new executives get in? You're not going to go again one more time?
Not this time, because I've also been elected as the male vice president of PNG Olympic Committee, so I've sort of elevated to another level, and I like to concentrate on the PNG Olympic Committee. So also we have in our national elections this year, so on the 7th of the November. Championship, November, is the election AGM. Yes, but I'll be working with the new executives that will come in to prepare for the 21. We've secured the coaches program from the FIVB, our International Federation, and that's been pending because of the pandemic. So that will be our biggest activity that we intend to conduct. And also we have the beach volleyball in the mini games in 2022. So that will be some preparations in relation to training of our athletes and the team management.
All right, well, listen, we're going to wrap things up, but let me say, I should really say congratulations for getting into the PNG Olympic Committee and showing leadership you're going to hand over the reins to someone else for PNG Volleyball. And, any sort of last departing words you want to say to maybe some associations that are still trying to come? What do they need to do for next week?
Well, we've got a couple of associations right throughout the province. We've got Wiwe coming in, we've got Gereka, nice, and also Manu. So those are sort of the three new associations coming on board, and I'm glad that they've put the hands up. So it's all about getting themselves over here in terms of the arrangement with Air New Guinea or Airlines PNG. But I'm sure that we can arrange that to allow them that accessibility to come over. So I'm looking forward for the national championship, as this is my last year.
Yeah.
Having said that, being volunteers and running sports activities is a big task for every individual. So it's always important to have that extra determination, will, commitment, and dedications to participate in this kind of sports activities.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Mr. Kila, President of the PNG Volleyball Federation, my goodness, for coming in, and all the best in the championships next week.
My pleasure, Lawrence. Thank you very much for coming on board and making some inroads for PNG Volleyball in this country.
Not a problem. All right, we're going to take a short time out and come back on Sports Scene. All right, welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. It is time for The Vault. In this next video, we take a look at the career snippets of former PNG Puk Paul Joseph.
And welcome back to the Lloyd Robson Oval. A very somber moment now as we're going through the national anthems, firstly of Solomon Islands and now of the PNG Puk. And a rendition there by Kila, and that's our captain for today, Captain Courageous Benjamin Ian Livers with Paul Joseph. These two teams clash was back in 1991 for the 90s. A mini park end of the field towards Boroko Market, that's right to left towards the Boroko Market. And the crowd certainly fired up for this big encounter between Melanesian brothers and our closest neighbors, Solomon Islands. Our Puks. A couple of new caps in there, but a lot of experience.
Yes, and certainly they're fired up for this, so both teams, I think, are going to put on a very good show.
Paul Joseph, under the signal of referee Hinton, will get this match underway. And first half is underway. Paul Joseph launches it with the breeze into the territory of the Solomon Islands side. Willing to run it early on. That ball's not going to go out. Wasn't struck very well. Chance to run back straight into the defense of Solomon. This is the captain. Is he laying down the law? I think he is. No, they're going for the 5-pointer. Joseph looking at his options. He's isolated. Tries to get a loose ball away. Dash through the 10-0. Hit it straight to the line. It's over. The Puk open their account here. And this is just what they've looked for. They wanted to draw first blood. The pressure's off now. So the Papua New Guinea Puks leading Solomon Islands 5-0. They've drawn first blood here at the Lloyd Robson Oval. Kaupa on the breast. He's got Mono on the outside. Will he use him? Holds it up. Gives it to Mono. Mono is over for try number 2 for the Puks. And the crowd erupts here at the Lloyd Robson Oval. And the magic of the Chang counter combination with Paul Joseph.
Knows the dummy once before he sends it on, and then Teno is put down 24 meters out now. Scramble for the ball and the Cooks have funneled it forward, and the Cooks have lost huge ground. Here's Larry. Ball's gone to ground. Liveris steps back across to Muriki, onto Joseph. They've got numbers to the left. John Larry across field to Romulus. He throws it out looking for Vitolo. Comes back in field. Through one, through two, and Vitolo runs down underneath the uprights and put it down as the Books open their account for the afternoon. And good thinking by Vitolo as well.
Well, there you go. That's Paul Joseph and some footage from 2002. He's with us here in the studio. And yeah, PJ, mate, down memory lane.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw that footage? 18 years ago?
18 years ago, yeah.
Mate, welcome on the show.
Thank you.
I see you still don't have any hair on you, but...
yeah, it looks good on me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about, you know, playing for the Puk-Puks. We saw a lot of footage of 15s, but you also did a lot of 7s, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's always a blessing to represent your country at the highest level, and I had that opportunity. And yeah, I started off with 7s. 7s, you know, had a lot of space, and I was new to the sport. Rugby league's always been, you know, number one for my family and I.
Yeah.
Going through the...
Man, I'll just jump in there. What happened? You know, you switched codes. What happened there?
To the disagreement of my family.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be playing for the black and white West, but I decided to play Rugby Union. And I guess when I represented the country, they forgave me. Forgave me for that. And they've been...
No, you definitely made a name for yourself. Not only as a player, but for the family. And you know where you're from as well, your heritage, West, as you said, Gulf Province, East New Britain, and also Western Province. Huh? So, you know, I'm sure your family was really happy. Now, 2003, you then did a couple of tours, the 7s, and also in Fiji.
Yeah, it was 1995 that I debuted for the country.
Yeah, 95, sorry. Yeah.
And I wasn't even the first pick. Robert Seo at the time and Philemon Hulo were very good players. They didn't have their passports ready at the time, so I got picked up down at host camp to get my passport sorted out. And yes, I was told to take my chance, and I did. Yeah. And I was fortunate enough to, you know, it's like never look back sort of thing. That was make or break tour for me to Fiji. And in that same year, I went to Hong Kong and was part of the gold medal winning team in the Arafura
games. Yeah, awesome.
So that was great.
Now, just with the players that you were playing with there were some really good players, Vitolo and, you know, Keith as well. Yeah. You know, some really good players in your era.
Absolutely. We had some very good players then, you know, Ian Pilakos, Paul Pomoso.
Yeah, Ian Liveris.
Ian Leclerc, Gabriel Tika, they were all. And most of them were players that I played with at club level and at provincial level as well, so it helped with my connection when we you know, went to rep the country and play at that level. So it helped with our understanding of the game for each other and then playing.
I'll skip over to our last question now, PJ. Time's running out on us, but compared to rugby now and to when you were playing, you know, what are the things that you think we should improve on, or you know, we've done well to be able to get this far?
You know, we've the game has changed, obviously. Laws have changed. In our time, we had rucking. Now you can ruck players out. And it's a lot faster now. And, if there was a thing that I'd like to be brought forward from when we were playing was just, having that representation by players from, right around the country.
I mean, the talent's out there.
The talent's, immense out there in the province, and I would like to, think that we should be bringing in a lot more players from the outside provinces than just...
Well, the sevens game will definitely suit us.
Oh, sevens, absolutely. Dougie and the boys did very well to bring us up to, to a level that we've never reached before, and and credit to Dougie. Douglas guys that is in with limited resources. He brought the boys up, and again, most of the players were from outside Port Moresby. And they did very well. So,
all right. Well, PJ, listen, we'll have to wrap it up there. Thank you very much. I see you've got Capital Insurance there, so that's where you work, yeah?
Yes, that's where I'm at.
That's where you are at now.
Almost a year now. Took a while to get back into it, but I'm there and happy for the opportunity.
Just a quick advice you want to give to players out there?
I mean, just gotta believe in yourself. Listen to your coaches. Obviously, the belief also starts at home. Listening to your parents and taking advice from that, and go out there and have fun, enjoy as well.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much, PJ. Rugby Union there. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Sports Scene.
Hey there, look, we've actually run out of time here on Sports Scene. So Lawrence, just quickly before we go, I know there's Governor's Cup happening as well. Anything else you would like to add?
I've got to say, in the international scene, the Melbourne Cup happens every first Tuesday of November. It is the first time that they're going to have absolutely no crowd. Just the horses and the jockeys running. But still a race that apparently stops the nation. We'll see how that happens.
I'm sure the Panthers are like, oh yes, after NRL we are now waiting for Melbourne Cup.
I think
so. Well, all the best to you guys as well. All right, so if you have any tips or stories you would like us to feature on Sports Scene, you can always email us at sports@emtv.com.pg, or you call us on 312-9200 and ask for Lawrence or myself, or you can message our Facebook page, that's the Sports Scene Facebook page, and leave your contact details with your full name, and we'll get right back to you. I think that's about it. This has been another episode of Sports Scene. Please do tune in, same time, same place next week. We'll leave it now.
Coming up next week.